Buckle up, sports fanatics. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast, your HQ for in-depth sports talk. Join host Kevin L. Warren and crew as they dissect the hottest stories, ignite debates, and bring you closer to the action. From locker room whispers to expert takes, we cover it all. It's game time, so strap in and grab a drink. The Sports Chasers Podcast starts right now.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. Welcome to the Sports Chasers Podcast, coming to you live and direct. It's a Monday evening out here in the East. Glad to have you with us tonight, man. Before we get into all that, let's talk about these things such as, hey, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit the bells for all the notifications. And those that's listening to the sound of my voice, make sure you do what? You give us that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star review on the podcast side. Lovers or haters, let us know how we doing. Those that you guys absolutely have been doing that with that, so we appreciate you with that. D-Dubs, what's up tonight, man? What's going on, sir?
What up, man? What is it, Monday night? Was it Monday?
Yeah, it's Monday night, kid. Yeah, it's Monday night.
I'm sorry, I've been working a lot.
Nah, man. Yeah, getting in there.
Yeah. Well, other than that, everything good.
Yeah, we got you, man. So shout out to those that's watching, that's checking us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, I think X, Twitch. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sports, we got the our Knicks. They got knocked out of the Eastern Conference Finals in 6 games. They're gone. Now it's down to the
No. We've been packing everybody else up. They got packed up, okay? They got packed up and they gone. Yeah, put some respect on Indiana's name, man. Come on. Let's Indiana, man. Show them some love.
Yeah, Indiana did their thing, man. Absolutely, Indiana absolutely did their thing. Shout out to the Pacers, sir.
That's right. Yeah, you gotta give them some love, man, because they totally.
Well, yeah, they totally took advantage of the Knicks turnovers they had the other night. And I'm not even ready to. We'll get into that later. I guess when Ryan gets here, but we got to make sure. Yeah, shout out to the Pacers. They did a wonderful job. They took advantage of a lot of things that the Knicks didn't do well. Josh Hart didn't play. He waited to that game to play awful. You can't be doing that in the Eastern Conference Finals, man, and not be good. You know what I'm saying? Cat, he falling all over the place. Cat, come on, dog, you gotta get up.
Dude, that dude, I thought, I wish there was like a stat for most times. Now, I think they did it for D Wade when he was playing in the finals that year. Yeah, he got knocked down so many times. It's just ridiculous. So I wanted to see the stat line for his Cat. I mean, every time I turned around, this dude was on the floor. I mean, he drives and falls down to the floor, man. Yeah, anyway, man. But go ahead. We'll talk about that later on.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. So, what I was going to say, yep. And the Yankees and the Dodgers, they played a great game out there in Dodger land in LA for the last 3 days over the weekend, man. The Dodgers winning 2 games out of 1. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Better late than never, huh?
Yeah. The Dodgers still, the first 2 games, they look absolutely great. So, so we'll get into that, man. But let me go to the news here real quick. Like I said, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit all the bells for all the notifications, and make sure on the podcast side, give us that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that 5-star review. 5-star review. 1 second as I do something. Yep. What I was going to say. Let me just go to the news here. Go to the news. Sorry for the silent air. Hey, shout out to all my reading people. Reading is fundamental. I didn't get none this week, so maybe I did a great job this past Thursday. I didn't get no.
You went to class? What you did? What you did? You hired somebody to get you right?
Yo, man, I was reading this book, man. Yo, how to be a better reader out louder. I don't know, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we appreciate you, dog.
So I didn't get. It remains to be seen. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. Let me go here. So let me start out, and this is from ESPN. Tim McManus. On a high note, well, not a high note. Well, it could be a high note for some, could be a curse for others. Hey, the Madden cover page, it came out today. From ESPN, from Tim McManus. He says, the Eagles, the Super Bowl champion running back Saquon Barkley, he has been named the cover athlete for the EA Sports Madden 26 today. And it's going to be featuring his iconic play when he did the remarkable reverse hurdle over Jacksonville Jaguars cornerback Jarrian Jones during a Week 9 matchup in 2024. Barkley rushed for a combined 2,504 yards in the regular season and postseason, setting a new single-season record. Madden 99 Club, he becomes the first Eagles offensive player to join the exclusive, check this out, Madden 99 Club, receiving the game's highest player rating. Barkley expressed gratitude later on today, stating that starting on the Madden cover and joining the 99 Club and is both dreams of his that came true. Madden 26 is scheduled to be released August 14th, 2025, when the summer comes. So, got that. I didn't see the D-Dubs he logged off there. Hey, man, kudos to my man Saquon Barkley, man, for making it happen here on the Madden cover. That's an accomplishment. Now, we that play Madden, we would say play Madden and watch football, we would say is a curse because, usually people that wind up on there, they wind up getting either hurt or something else happens to them. So, hopefully.
Yeah, that Madden curse is crazy, man. It says Saquon. Yeah, man. I don't want it to happen to him, man. But usually, man, there's a major injury usually happen. I mean, if you want to really run it down, Adrian Peterson. There's a couple other guys who was it Donovan McNabb? Did Terrell Owens make it?
I don't know if he was on that one or if he was on the other one.
Hold on, I'll get it for you right now. Madden Curse. But yeah. But there's been several official players that have gotten on the Madden cover. Dante Culpepper, ankle injury. Marshall Faulk, ankle injury. Michael Vick, leg fracture. Donovan McNabb, I told you, struggled to meet expectations. 2006. Sean Alexander, injured, career decline after the 2007. Vince Young struggled to meet expectations. Green Bay Packers, New York Jets, Brett Favre retired after the season. Pittsburgh Steelers, Troy Polamalu, knee injuries. Drew Brees, he did make it. No significant curse for him. I don't know. He seemed to escape it in 2011. I didn't even know Peyton Hillis made the cover.
Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, he made it.
Really? Minor injuries. Rob Gronkowski, hamstring. Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Antonio Brown made it?
Antonio Brown in 2019 traded issues outside of football. And Kansas City Chiefs in 2020, Patrick Mahomes, his knee injury slightly reduced performance. That's what they're saying. So that Madden curse is something. I mean, if you don't believe it, man,
CMC?
I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying.
He just says CMC.
Oh yeah, CMC. I forgot about him. Yeah. I forgot. Let me let my main man that know about that Madden curse. Hey, the angry one. What's good?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing? Good evening to everyone out here in Sports Chasers land, viewership and all that, man. Yo, like I said in the chat, man. Yo, man.
I hate to put you on the spot. That Madden curse is real. I keep.
It's real, B. Yo, look at Christian McCaffrey just a few years ago.
2 years ago. I forgot about him. I forgot.
You know what I'm saying? They put Brady and Mahomes on one.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, the Sean Alexanders, the Michael Vicks, the Ray Lewis. Yo, man, it goes on to Josh Allen a few years ago. He hasn't.
For those that don't believe.
Oh man,
I don't believe.
Okay. It is what it is, man.
No, okay. I mean, the Madden thing is a thing. So shout out to Saquon.
Maybe Saquon. Yeah, maybe Saquon will break through and break the curse, man. But I'm not going to bet on it.
Yeah, man. Yo. Sorry, Saquon.
Okay.
You might be the next victim on that Summer Jam screen. Sorry. For those who don't know what Summer Jam is, just check it out. Hot 97.
97.
Yeah.
New York City.
Yeah. Let me move on to the next one.
Jay-Z.
Yahoo Sports. Y'all probably roll your eyes at this one, but I don't care. Veteran wide receiver Stefan Diggs returned to New England. Patriots organized team activities on Monday, OTAs, making his first appearance after missing the initial 5 sessions. His participation drew attention following a viral video showing him on a boat with rapper Cardi B and others, sparking speculation about his standing with the team. The video raised concern after Diggs, holding a pink substance in a plastic bag, was seen socializing.
Pink cookies in a plastic bag getting crushed by buildings. LL Cool J, if y'all don't know.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I was just about to say that, but
he was socializing notably amid his recovery from his torn ACL sustained in October while with the Houston Texans. While Diggs did not entertain questions about after catching passes from Patriots quarterback Drake May on Monday, offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels shared his thoughts with reporters. McDaniels emphasized the voluntary nature of OTAs and expressed confidence in Diggs' engagement with the team, stating, "He's here today, and we're excited to have an opportunity to work with the guys that are out here and available to us." Diggs, who recently signed a 3-year, $69 million contract, is a 4-time Pro Bowler with the 857 receptions, over 10,000 yards, 70 touchdowns over his decade-long career with the Vikings, Bills, and the Texans. The Pats conclude their OTAs this week and will hold mandatory minicaps from June 9th to the 11th before training camp starts on July the 24th. E, since you chimed in about the pink cookies in the plastic bag getting crushed by buildings.
Yo, man. This is a non-story for me, honestly. Most of the guys that have been in the league more than 3-4 years, they're not going to every damn practice unless it's mandatory. Yo, man, it's the same old song, man. I don't. As long as the man shows up and performs, that's a whole nother story. But everywhere that he's been, he's basically performed up to his contracts and obligations and stuff like that. So, non-story for me, man. I mean, if you want to go to the on the boat and party with Cardi and whoever else, man, that's your business. It doesn't look good, of course, but we've seen this before, man. I'm not even going to entertain it no more.
I hear you. D-Dubs, thoughts on Stefan Diggs, if you have any?
I really don't. What he said, this is a non-story. If you don't care enough to, I mean, it's again. I think you just said it this time of the year. Boy, I hate every time a playoff team gets knocked out in the NBA. I get more depressed and depressed.
Or the NHL.
Yeah, on the NHL. Yeah, shout out to the NHL. Because it's dwindling down. Slow sports days.
Dog days of
summer. These guys don't have nothing to talk about.
They won't
talk about baseball.
Nope.
And they won't even watch. And then, they create these
narratives.
These narratives and these stories that absolutely nobody cares, man. Nobody cares.
Nope. Nope.
But
not no real sports fan anyway. Some of these
people don't even know.
Casual fans out there, some of you CFs out there, y'all might care about it.
Some of these people don't even know who Cardi B is, and for that matter. I mean,
well, no, some people might not know who Stefan Diggs is. The Cardi B people know who Cardi B is. They don't know who Stefan Diggs is.
That's true too. I mean, either or, yeah. Right. Either way.
Right.
But this story is I could care less. I mean, the pink substance in the bag, I don't know what it was. You could speculate all you want to, but I'm not. I'm gonna go with E's. Pink cookies in the plastic bag.
And crushed by
I don't know. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave that alone. Stefan Diggs is doing what he does, and he's a grown man. It's all good. He's out hanging out. Yeah,
he's good, right?
And again, like we always say, you know, the team is not worried about it. The organization obviously not worried about it. They welcome him with open arms on Monday. So
to the owner and the coach,
business as usual, man.
Say something to me, or say not to me personally, but I'm just saying, brings it out there to the media. I don't think it's the story.
Yeah, okay.
Less.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on to baseball. Speaking of baseball, and this is a very bad baseball story, I should say. From what's this? From Front Office Sports, from Eric Fisher, and he wrote this today. The Colorado Rockies have reached a historically poor performance milestone in 2025. This season, following a sweep by the New York Mets, the Rockies' record stands at 9-50.
This is another. Wait a minute. Did you just say 5-0?
You heard it right.
5-0 like the police. 5-0 like Hawaii. 5-0.
They've lost 50 games before they won 10.
Oh, shit.
Marking the worst 59-game start in modern MLB history.
I was about to say, this has got to be a record. It's got to be a record.
This includes being swept in 10 of their 20 series and enduring 4 separate losing streak of at least 8 games. So, right, I remember, didn't the Yankees just play Colorado like last weekend and they lost, I think, the first game?
Yeah. Or,
they lost the first game and they won the other 2. I was mad. I said they shouldn't even win. That was the last game that they won.
I think the UNC Charlotte baseball team could
get the Rockies a run for their money. Probably so.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think any college team. I mean, at this point, this is bad. I mean,
we got to get our main man on from Denver to come on the show and talk about the Rockies, man. Yeah, I might have to do that. He's been on the show before, man, but we're going to get him on. So what's really going on out there, man? So, in response to their dismal performance, the Rockies dismissed manager Bud Black and bench coach Mike Redmond, appointing Warren Schaefer as an interim manager. Despite these changes, the team struggles persist, ranking near the bottom in key stat categories such as run differential, batting average, fielding percentage, kind of the basis what you need to win a baseball game, and of course ERA. Projections suggest that the Rockies could finish the season with a 25 and 137 record, surpassing the modern era record of 120 losses set by the Chicago White Sox last year, 2024. No leases May the 2nd. The Rockies have secured only 3 victories, matching golfers Scotty Scheffler's win count in the same period. Scheffler just won 2. He won yesterday. Jesus. Off the field, the Rockies face challenges competing in the financially robust National League West, where their division rivals rank among the top 13 in luxury tax payrolls. Owner Dick Monfort has criticized the growing economic disparities in MLB, describing the competitive imbalance as ludicrous. The team prospects for a quick turnaround are bleak, lacking high-value trade assets and having not hired a general manager from outside the organizations, get this, since 1999. Current GM Bill Schmidt has been with the Rockies for 26 years, during which the team has achieved only 6 winning seasons. How come he's not going?
Yo, Kev, you gotta get Clint on, man. You got Clint, the Daily Dose.
Yeah, we gotta
He's definitely got to give us a insight, a better insight of what in the heck is going on in that part of the country.
Well, it sounds like I'm just outside looking in, of course, but it sounds like that inside job that they're doing. Everything from the inside, well, obviously everything on the inside is rotten. So you might need to go outside and find you somebody. And maybe it's nobody wants to go there. We don't know. But yeah, we do need some insight on that, because that is crazy.
Yeah.
Fan attendance is
Kev, I just want to say this.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just want to throw this out there since you were talking about stats. The Colorado Rockies has been outscored by 185 runs.
Wow.
Hard to win. Score.
Let that sink in, man.
Say it again, Eric.
They have not. They've only scored. No. They've been outscored by 185. They've only scored 184. Yeah. That's about as anemic of an offense you could ever find, ever.
Hey, and they're currently losing right now, 4-2 to Miami.
That's not shit.
I just wanted to add that to it.
Fan attendance is beginning to decline, with averages now trailing the 2024 pace by 1.3%, positioning the Rockies 18th in the league. Their downturn occurs despite overall MLB attendance rising 2%. Yes, MLB attendance has risen this year, driven by strategic scheduling and star players like Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. In summary, the Rockies are expecting a season of unprecedented futility, with systematic issues both on and off the field contributing to the historic struggles. So check that out. Like Eric said, if you can't score, you can't win. And this Bill Schmidt,
that's in all sports. But go ahead.
This Bill Schmidt being the general manager, he's been in the organization for 26 years, and we haven't changed that. I mean, what pitches does he have on? The owner. I want to know. What is he doing? Who does he know?
Losing.
No, well, yeah, that's 26 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just want to know, how did they get this bad this fast? Because wasn't they a few years ago? Just a few years ago, they was playing well, right?
They was playing well. I believe they.
I think they made the playoffs. I want to say about 2 years ago, if not.
Probably a little bit longer than that. I know they made a World Series here in the last 10, 15 years ago. If I remember, I think the Red Sox beat them. But this is, they 25 wins. That's a long summer. Talk about Bananarama. It's a cruel summer.
This is a cruel summer for real. And to play, to be a professional, first of all, and to play day in and day out. That's, you talk about a drag, a vibe killer. You don't get no. I mean, you don't get no worse than that. And then constantly losing.
Yeah, man. It's that.
Yeah, they last made the postseason in 2018. They lost to in the NLDS to the Chicago Cubs.
Wow, that's crazy. That's definitely crazy.
It was previously in the playoffs in 2007, 2009, and 2017. Yeah.
Wow. Let me move on.
Yeah, that's sad. You just brought the room down, Doc.
All right. Well, let me make y'all laugh now on this one. From Front Office Sports, from Michael McCarthy, he says this. This should make y'all happy. As the NBA's long-standing media partner with TNT comes to a close, one of the most iconic voices in basketball television is preparing for a new chapter. Charles Barkley, who has been a cornerstone of Inside the NBA for over 2 decades, recently expressed his feelings about the potential move to ESPN, calling it an honor to be considered. The article, written by, as you said, by McCarthy from Front Office Sports, outlines the end of a media era as Warner Brothers Discovery, TNT's present company, faces the real possibility of losing NBA broadcasting rights as they done. Barkley is known for his candid, often hilarious commentary, has reportedly been approached by ESPN in recent statements, said, "If they want me, it would be an honor." So he said that, right? And you also hear that Shaq. So basically, this article is just basically breaking down how they're getting ready to go over to ESPN. And you heard Shaq the other night. Shaq said, "What? I don't want no mess." He said, "We're going to be who we going to be." And I think I know how I feel about the 4-letter network and how they have fundamentally have changed things and how they don't even cover baseball. And I absolutely, with Shaq and Chuck. Chuck was on. Charles Barkley was actually on Dan Patrick this morning. I enjoyed him, and he was saying the same thing. He says, "No, we want to go over there and do what we've been doing. We don't want to be changed." And shout out to Charles Barkley for, guess what? He was sticking up for the fans this morning too. He's like, I know I'm going in between, but he was saying, "Hey guys, you can't be low managing. You getting paid $70 million a year. That's like, come on, man."
Oh,
he's from that era, man. So
yeah.
Well, he stuck up for the fans, though. Shout out to Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we've been saying for quite some time. You know, Again, I don't want to be accused of beating a dead horse
No,
because
well,
that's what.
Chuck brought it up, so and he's protecting the fans, and I'm
Yeah.
with that. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
But again, we started off as defender of the fans.
Yeah. No, we changed.
Hey,
No, because some of y'all
hey,
can't be defended.
you can't defend these people, man. There's some of these people, man. They're gonna keep spinning. They're gonna keep on going out here, and again, the only way to affect change is doing something about it, doing something different. What they say,
Radical.
right? Definition of insanity:
Just keep doing the same thing.
keep on doing the same thing over and over.
And
So
expecting different results.
there you go,
Can't
right?
happen.
So at some point, I guess it would click in with these people that these guys with this low management, it is what it is now. I mean, I'm like, again, I'm about tired of it, of talking about it. But shout outs for Charles for making it known. Yeah, man. I mean, you got to perform, man. You got to come. You got to perform. Do it for the people. You put it on the show. So
yeah, you put it on. You put it on the show.
Yeah.
So I just asked the panel real quick. Do you think inside the NBA will change any bit while they go to ESPN? Go ahead.
Yep.
Why
it won't be right away, but I think within I say 5 years, it'll probably be sooner than that. You're going to see one of the two gentlemen that we just talked about, either Shaquille O'Neal or Charles Barkley, is going to get up and they are going to depart because there's going to be, come on, ESPN, come on, Disney is always changing something that don't need to be changed just because they're Disney. We've seen it way too many times. Now, again, like I always say on this show, I would love to be wrong. I know many people don't say that. Please prove me wrong. But until then, yeah, I don't. I give him 5 years. Probably be less than that, but I give him 5 years. What say you, sir?
D-Dubs?
I hope not, man. That's all I can say. I really hope that they continue to be who they are, and when that who they are if somebody starts to get in their ear, and say, "Hey guys, say this is funny," and they say no, you know what I'm saying, and go out on their shield.
Hey, Chucky B.
Yeah. Let them go out on their shield and say, you know what, nah, I'm not feeling this, and you know what, it's not fun no more, and go out on their own terms. You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully they'll still keep the same, level of energy, and they'll still do it until it's not fun, or they'll pass it over to next group of guys that, who wants to continue it. But, they gotta be their own people. I don't understand, if McAfee could be his own person, I guess that's what they said. He's not changing. So, leave these guys alone. But we'll see.
Yep. On Monday, Barkley
told.
Go ahead, E.
Is it everybody? Is it just Charles and Shaq, or is it everybody?
No, it's everybody's going. Everybody's going.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. On Monday, Barkley told Dan Patrick that he expects to only work 2 seasons of the 7 years left on his monster 10-year, $210 million contract. If they start trying to work me too much between ESPN and TNT, I'm just going to have to walk on home, he said. He said, Barkley. He's been talking about retirement 10 years, but what do you know? The round mound of rebound is suddenly speaking more positively about ESPN, a frequent large target of his barbs than ever before. ESPN is the most famous sports brand ever. It's going to be awesome working for them, he told Patrick today. The devil is in the details when it comes to schedule. ESPN will have to juggle its various shows and linear digital media platforms to give inside the NBA the high profile it deserves. For instance, if a featured NBA game is on ESPN, the post-game coverage probably just rolls over into Inside the NBA. But if the game airs on ABC, the broadcast network will likely shift into its local news. So viewers will probably have to change channels to ESPN or ESPN2 to watch the Chuckster and the rest of the guys. There's also a question of how the show will coexist alongside with Scott Van Pelt's Midnight Sports Center. Will Inside the NBA air on ESPN2 along with Van Pelt's Sports Center on ESPN's primary channel, or will it start on ESPN? Barkley broke some of the news on Patrick, and he just talked about it more with Dan Patrick. But I'm pretty sure they'll work out all the logistics. I'll say this: if ESPN just leaves them alone, and there's no
Yeah.
person in their ear telling them to say whatever. Or, because sometimes Charles and Shaq can be a little edgy, right? Chuck, he was talking about them chicks in San Antonio, right? And, people were outraged, but, that was just Chuck being Chuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
People said they wrote letters.
But what you being outraged for? These people are it's ridiculous, man. Who cares what Chuck says? He's doing his job. He's being funny and entertaining. That's it.
Being funny.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
But he didn't say nothing crazy other than you chicks in San Antonio kind of big. That's all he said.
They're gonna come for us now.
Yeah. Whatever, man.
They already said.
I mean, look. I mean, it's not like Chuck is a Twiggy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, dog. He said what he said. It's it. That was it. It was fun. It was tongue in cheek. Whatever. Yo, man, we just in the era of just ridiculousness.
I know.
Don't get me started, man.
I know.
It's not the era of that cloth.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people way too uptight, way too sensitive. I could go on and on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too short.
Yeah, too short. Yeah. Let me go back to front office sports from Eric Fisher. He said this the other day. We got the Stanley Cup Finals between the Panthers and the Oilers. That will start on Wednesday. The NBA Finals, D-Dubs, will start on Thursday, correct?
Thursday. Yes.
So this is the first time in almost 15 years that we have a rematch. You had the Pens and the Red Wings. They did a rematch, back-to-back finals. Game one scheduled, like I said, for Wednesday at Rogers Place in Edmonton. And this year's TNT, True TV, and Max Notably, there no over the
air. You mess it up, dog. hey, you mess it up, big dog.
Get him.
Slow down. Slow down. Slow down and read that again.
Yeah, okay, they're gonna get me on that one. There's no over the coverage broadcast companies, unlike years when Disney and ABC held the rights. In 2023, when WBD last held rights, U.S. viewership for the Stanley Cup Finals dropped by 43% compared to the previous year. Given the current broadcasting setup, U.S. Ratings might experience a decline as well. But they're saying that the viewership in Canada will go up. Last year's Game 7 between the Panthers and the Oilers attracted an average 7.55 million viewers on Sportsnet, reaching approximately 15 million Canadians, about 39% of the national population. Currently, playoffs, Sports reports a 16% increase in viewership through the second round, averaging 2.2 million viewers. So I'll say this. There's probably going to be, because you have a Canadian team in there, and on the U.S. side, there might be some decline. And DA always says it on this show. He says, "Yo, hockey is like what? Hockey is like that hip hop that you can't find.
Yeah,
if you like it, you like it, and you rock with it. So you're gonna have this rock. But sometimes with U.S. sports, we do what? We rock with the casual folks." And they're the ones who how can I say that there's some kind of impact with them instead of just riding with the people who got you there. But who am I? Right. So they're talking about the ratings, and the ratings coming up, they go up, they go down. And sometimes ratings mean something, man. But, shout out to the people that watch hockey. They're going to get it in, man. So shout out to those that love hockey. Let me go on to baseball. Like I said earlier, the Yankees and the Dodgers, they had a really good series out in L.A. The rematch of the World Series last year when the Dodgers won 4-1, and the Dodgers won this series 2-1. They beat the Yankees first 2 games. The second game, before I turned on the TV, the Knicks game, I was like, wait a minute. Did they just score 10 runs in the first 2 innings? I said, man. And the only 2 runs the Yankees scored was from Aaron Judge's home runs, man. So, Yeah, that was jacked out. I don't know if you caught any of the Yankees and Dodgers this weekend, or let me know.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I did. You stupid man. I did. I've been basically catching up with sports on, catching up with highlights and stuff like that, man. Man, it was a good measuring stick for where the Yankees are.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing well or whatever, but can they hang with the best of the best? We shall see. American League, yes. National League, no. I mean, that's just where we at right now. Maybe fortunes will change if we have another rematch or whatever. I don't see it, but Yankees have surprised me so far this year. So
Definitely.
Why they surprise you?
the Dodgers are just the gold standard, bro. They just the gold standard right now.
Well, right now they like the evil empire, like the Yankees were, because they just spend and buy, and that's how it is. Yankee fans,
that's what it seems like.
I don't want to hear you crying, because that's how we work.
No, you can't. How can you cry?
Somebody
You know,
doing
we
it better
did the
than
same.
what we used to.
Hey man, we did the same thing, bro. There's no way I could be mad at the Dodgers other than congratulate them, and they keep on spending the money to win until their owners is tired of spending the money.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, the Yankees got to that point where we can't continue to do this for whatever reason.
Oh no, I know the reason that the kids of George Steinbrenner looked at the books and said, "No, we're not doing like that." No,
because Dad been around and Dad got paper. No, we trying to get the paper. So they try to get more paper, and I get it, but they will change it after a certain time when the Yankee fans stop coming out to the games. So we'll see. But as long as the Yankees keep on giving them a little bit, giving them a taste, these fans will still keep coming back. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, I'm with E. The National League, I don't think they ain't got too much smoke for them. And yeah, for the American League, they can handle business on this side, but when they go on that other side, man, it's gonna be tough. And Dodgers are a tough team, man. They're well put together. A lot of good talent on that ball club. So
a good litmus test you'll see this week, the Mets go out to Chavez Ravine to check out the Dodgers, so that's gonna be good. The Mets they're in first place now. They passed the Phillies the other day. They just swept the Rockies like everybody else is doing. So that'd be a good litmus test to see where they're at. The Mets with their makeshift pitching staff that they put together, they continue to win. They're in first place in the National League East. So shout out to the Mets. Here's a story that I thought this happened already. Apparently, Randy Johnson, the Mariners are going to retire his number, 51 and 53. It looks like in a ceremony with the Mariners in 2026, the team announced. I find that very odd. I thought they would have been retired this number. So when I saw this today, I was like,
the big unit,
the big unit, man.
Yeah. I thought he was I don't know. It's because he left and went to Arizona.
Yeah, remember he pitched with the Yankees for a hot second.
Man. I think that lady with that camera got in his face and he was disgusted.
Yeah, he was like, I got to get out of New York, man.
He's this is not for me. I remember that. That was hilarious, man. But that wasn't for him. And
New York was not.
I mean, what they call it, a cup of coffee. He had a cup of coffee here in New York, and it just didn't pan out for him. And I think he's doing photography now, if I'm not mistaken. But
he's doing photography, and Ken Griffey Jr. is also doing. Photography, man. They do a really good job, man. So shout out to those guys, man. Not like they need the access, man, but they got a passion that they love.
They got a passion for the photography game, so shout outs to them. But the big unit, man. Yeah, you would have thought that his jersey and number. He did a lot in that Seattle area. So
he finished in the top 3 of Cy Young voting 4 times with the Mariners, including the 95 season. When he also led the league in strikeouts 4 times and ERA once. In his time with Seattle, he went 130-74 with a 3.42 ERA, and with 2,162 strikeouts and 1,838 innings. He threw the first no-hitter in franchise history exactly 35 years before Monday's announcement and sits atop 3 in the club history in wins, ERA, strikeouts, complete games, and shutouts, man. So shout out to Randy Johnson.
He's 61. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to Randy Johnson, man. He was I mean, for those who didn't see this guy,
tough,
this guy, just think about a 6'10", a Kevin Durant
just
pitching the ball.
Yeah.
The ball.
Lefty.
Yeah.
Throwing 95, 98.
Straight gas.
And you didn't know between that slider and that fastball, you didn't know what was coming before it was too late. Excuse me.
Yeah, right.
Same arm action.
Yeah, Randy Johnson. Yo, man, this dude.
Hey, Auntie.
Randy Johnson was something else, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
So shout out to the big unit, as they call him. Doing that. Any other baseball news here? As I said here, the Mariners, I think that's about it. Yep, that's about it. They just talk about the Rockies, man. Well, let me say the least for last, the best for last. Again, D-Dubs, he said I need to put some respect on the Pacers' name, and I did. The Pacers, they are the best of the best. They're going on to.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on 1 second. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. I just want to say shout out to the Detroit Tigers. They are 39-21 at the 50 game mark. Had to shout them out, man. That division has been really well, outside of the White Sox, they've been playing good in that. They've been playing tough in that division, man. So I just wanted to shout out the Detroit Tigers.
Well,
they was talking about them here, which was shocking to me. They were talking about them out here in the local radio station. Yeah. Talking about how they seem to be resurrected. So
yeah, ever since last year, man, they did their thing, man, going on, and they're facing the White Sox right now. They're up 3-0 against the White Sox. So shout out to them, man. Getting back to what I was saying about the Pacers, shout out to the Pacers. They beat the Knicks 4-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. They will face the Oklahoma City Thunder. Should be a good series. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, all those that's listening to the sound of my voice, do not let the legacy media or anybody say to you, "Oh my God, the ratings! Why would they do this?" Don't listen to those folks. If you love basketball, if you love the NBA, you'll watch the series. That's just it. Don't let these people, it's what it. If the NBA didn't think it was, think it was good enough to put a franchise in these cities, they wouldn't have, right? And I said this Thursday. I said they're not the Washington Generals or anything like that. Though that's a Harlem Globetrotters reference I'm talking about. But the two best teams made it. We live, right? Everybody keeps saying we live in a global economy. Well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, people watching the internet, people watching on their phones, people watching on their television, people streaming. If you love the NBA, forget about all the noise. You'll watch all 4 games. You're going to get 4 minimum, right? Mm-hmm. And if you get any more than that, it's extra. Just watch the games. Don't let nobody, because they're starting already. I heard it the day after. I was like, oh my God. Well, there's just two small market teams. I was like, shut up, man. You guys are something else. You guys in the media are something else. You don't know, and some don't know how much power they have, because some people are just like, oh my God, he might be right. Mm-hmm. That it's too small. It's too small. How are they going to survive? Trust me, the owner of the shout out to Mike Mills. 4 million. Shout out to Mike Mills. Mike Mills is probably rolling with the no, he did say he's rolling with the Thunder. Yeah, just watch the game, man. If you love the NBA, just watch it.
Just watch it.
Just watch it. Don't listen.
And if it's not your cup of tea, if you just go to bed and look at the highlights tomorrow, the next day.
Just look at the highlights.
Like I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm sick of watching them, yeah, go to bed.
Yep.
But you know,
especially all of y'all that be in our comments talking about, oh, you old God, this is how the NBA is now, yada yada yada. Y'all ought to be the main ones watching. I don't want to hear nothing.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know the difference between a travel and a gather and this and that. Okay, well, you know what? Oh, SGA's not flopping, even though I'm not even going to get into all of that. But all of the nuances that go on in the NBA today, this is what y'all pledge for. This is what y'all scream for. Watch it and enjoy it. I don't care if it's 2 small market teams, 2 teams in Canada, 2 teams out in Mars. Does not matter. It's the NBA.
Facts.
These are this is the cream of the crop.
Facts. You got the number 1 team in defense in Oklahoma. And you got the Pacers, number 1 pretty much in every offensive category. The Pacers. So this should be a really good series and for you to watch. But I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I'm going to talk about the Knicks and the Pacers and Game 6 and a little bit of Game 5.
I don't know why.
I just got to circle back, you know. And I might, you know, people are saying to fire, you know, Thibs and all that. Let's just take that off the board for a second. Okay. Let's look how the Knicks played that on Game 6. You had Cat falling over the place. You had Hart who waited till that game to have the worst game ever. And the Knicks did what? The Knicks threw the ball all over the place and turned the ball over the place.
Yo, man. I mean, they Pacers press. I mean, I haven't seen this in a long time. It's been a while from beginning to end that I've seen the team start off just pressing the next team. It's usually like you start to press, usually like maybe, you know, later on in the game, second quarter, you know, third quarter, definitely going into the fourth quarter, you start seeing a press. I mean, they picked them up from the time they inbounded the ball. Jalen Brunson was having issues, or what seemed to be issues to me. I don't know. He might say otherwise, but it looked like it was a problem. They looked like they was extremely tired. Like, I don't know. But this is all the things that we said would happen if you just shout out to Twin Box. So the things that we said would happen, and it happened. So I know, you know, I'm one of the ones. You said take it off the table. Hey, they need to circle back. I know, and you know, some of these reporters, man, stop it, man, with these. Yo, you think that you trust Thibs? Yo, man, how you gonna ask that to the star player, man? Like, I find that to be very, like, just a dumb question to ask at that particular time, game after the game.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's just a dumb question to ask the man. But anyway, yeah, Kev, you're right. As far as Josh Hart, you know, picking the worst time. I mean, he was 1 for 6, 4 points, 22 minutes.
Terrible, dog.
Yeah, man. I mean, we didn't get enough. We just didn't get enough from guys, man. OG had Mikal Bridges had 15 points, but it was the quietest points. OG 10 to 18, 24. I mean, we what's my man's name? Miles McBride, 0 for 2. You know, we need a shooter, man. We have nobody that could shoot the ball
consistently
to get some buckets, man.
Yeah, who knock it down. You know, they had, and you know, Indiana. You know, shout out to them because they benched.
I know, I know. If you use your bench, you might.
I'm not even gonna say anything, man. I'm gonna wait till Kev finish.
Go ahead, Kev.
I had people tell me this weekend, man. Well, you know, who's to say they would have been playing that well anyway?
If you don't use nobody, you don't never know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was talking about Indiana, right? We've been talking the last 3 weeks how Indiana uses their bench like it's a hockey It's a hockey roster, man, right? They had lines. First line, second line, third line go out.
Yeah, we got Kobe Bryant's nephew comes out and it hits threes. I don't know if he's Kobe Bryant. Thomas Bryant comes out, shoots two. I mean, his threes, and that's 11 points. He contributed 11 points. So I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Kev, you said
double figure scores.
You said take it off the table. It should be on the bulletin board. It should be a now hiring outside of MSG. All of that. I'm sorry, and it's not just Thibs.
Right. I was saying, who do you bring in there?
Man,
we have turned into a Knicks podcast now.
you can bring in.
Malone going to be doing the same thing, though.
Everybody says Mike Malone or whatever.
He's going to be doing kind of similar same thing.
Listen, I would look around there. I would honestly look around, and the Knicks. I'm sure I'm sure Leon Rose and them will do their due diligence if they see fit. Right? You can look around the college landscape.
Oh no! I'm not putting no trust in Leon Rose after the 5 picks for my
what you uncovered today.
Unprotected two.
I said that too.
Yeah. I just didn't realize it about the protected. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, and how valuable the unprotected is.
Oh yeah, it goes from your pocket to mine. That yo man. The Knicks are still a mess. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They lost in 6 games, and they are a mess. And I'm gonna say this: all you Carl Anthony Town lovers.
Oh, I'm glad you just brought him up.
He played some good games. But my thing is, you traded DiVincenzo and got a body swap, in my opinion, because Randle in the last 2-3 years here has played the same exact way Cat did, non-existent on offense, and he'll stand out at the 3-point line and shoot threes, not make them all the time, but he would shoot them, and very close. You would get some inside work from him. But other than that, to me, they were the same player. You got the same exact thing, and you gave away DiVincenzo.
A shooter, which I said we needed a shooter. We didn't have nobody that could put the ball in the basket. Now that you brought up Carl Anthony Towns, and I just seen something on from the Sacramento Kings. I don't know if this is their website. I'll get it here in a minute. But there was it happened it wrote it 2 hours ago about the Knicks and the Sacramento Kings trade proposal that would send Sabonis to New York for Carl Anthony Towns. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
at this point,
I might be.
Like I always say every offseason, like I say every offseason, and I've said this probably the last 3-4 years. Is Thibs still the coach? I don't care who you bring in here. To be honest, you can bring Luka in here. Still, it's going to be the same damn thing.
Well, actually, hold on. The proposal is Carl Anthony Towns for Domantas Sabonis, Devin Carter, and Minnesota's 2031 first round pick. That would be involved in that. But yeah, is Thibs still? I couldn't tell you, but Cat has been catching hell for his defensive rotation, things of that nature. So we'll see.
There was
the Knicks are gonna have to do something, because this is not it, Kev. And I get this guy he's gonna have to change his coaching philosophy. I don't know. At this point, it's not that you definitely didn't have a really good bench. I don't know where Precious Achiuwa was. Why last year he was good enough for last year, but you mean to tell me he couldn't play this year? That just don't make no sense to me at all.
Well, Ryan should be joining us very quickly. I would love to hear what Ryan got to say.
Yeah, see, we bring up this. Go ahead, E.
Like I said in the chat, right? Yo, the Knicks was outplayed and outcoached. Not one time. The only thing that I seen Thibs do was start Mitch. That's the only thing you did. You had no answer for the press. You had no answer for them dribble drives. You had no answer for nothing, and you did nothing to you didn't try anything.
Yeah, you're right, E. That's pretty much all he had. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know what do you do for it? So
there's a lot of things. I don't know. Yeah, Knicks are gonna have to figure something out. I don't know, but there's a lot of it is the coach. A lot of it is that roster you gotta figure something out. I think they were so on paper it looked good to have Mikal Bridges and OG. Yeah, it looked good against the Boston Celtics, but again, you got to figure out about the whole NBA. What kind of team can you put together? You got to Eastern Conference Finals next year. We should be getting over the top. You should try to figure out how do we get over the top? But
yeah, because they got him.
Don't make no more herky jerky decisions based off of this year. Okay, so you lose to Indiana. Oh, we're gonna bring in some guys to combat Indiana. Tatum's not gonna be playing next year. Okay, well then you still got to deal with Cleveland. You still got to deal with some of these other up and coming teams. If they make if the Magic gets a Kevin Durant, I'm just throwing it out there. People relax, but I'm just saying if they get somebody, if they make a trade to help them get over the hump to put them in the top 4, that's somebody else you have to deal with. So instead of making decisions based off of one team, like D-Dub just said, you got to make changes for the whole NBA.
And they kind of did that for Boston.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody was all excited.
Yeah.
Everybody was all excited when we beat Boston. Man, I get it. However, yes, we was beating Boston with Tatum before he got hurt. I get it. To me, I still wasn't impressed because you wasn't playing 4 quarters of basketball. That was my issue with the Knicks. And they only played 1 full game of 4-quarter basketball in that series.
Yeah,
I'm gonna shut up now.
And then they go to the Pacers series, and they play. What is it? They played 45 minutes or 46 minutes in the half, and 46, and they wound up losing the game. So in game 1, which was definitely a turning point. They losing that game like that. So I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do for this. What's your thoughts on this matchup between? I know Mike Mills had his on the Thunder and the Pacers.
Well, I really hope that it goes 6-7 games because I think for this current crop of the NBA audience, this plays right into what they like. Yes, you have 2 teams that plays defense, but it's not, of course, the 80s and 90s defense, right? You got 2 teams that not only have stars and superstars on their team, but their role players play like stars at times. So both offenses are good, both defenses are good. So hopefully in this modern day NBA that we are currently in, this I don't care if it's, again, going back to that whole, these 2 teams from, man, this right here represents the NBA 2025. So I hope that it goes 6-7 games. I think SGA is a monster, but Mr. Overrated may have something to say, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I would go with Oklahoma City Thunder because they've been good all year, but I am worried about this layoff that they've currently on. That's my only issue.
And it's been a long layoff, right? How long has it been? Almost a
Been
week.
what, a week? Yeah. Thursday, it'll be what, a week and a day? So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what happens when you pack your package up early, man. Yeah,
pack
man.
them up.
Pack
that's
them up
what
early. You got them out of there. So, hey,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at them. They did what they did. Pack them up and got them out of here early.
Ryan De Silva. I'm sorry. Ryan De Silva.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir? What's up, brother?
Yeah.
What up, man? What up?
Yeah, I like that one. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yo, man, we've been poking fun at Ryan, man. Ryan's we started a WNBA fantasy league, and Ryan's running it, man. And we had some well, Ryan showed me the other day. We was all, well, let me speak for myself. Ryan kind of got at me. He said, "Hey, man, I showed you how to do this thing." I said, "Hey, man, hey, I was doing it every day." He said, "Bro, what are you doing? Yo, you can set it for the whole week." And then that's what he does. It's like, man, false advertisement. His guy at the Super.
I even posted screenshots in the chat. I'm like, you gotta hit for the whole week for the whole matchup. It's right underneath the daily one. Especially D Dubs. He had Caitlin Clark out. He had Paige. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Oh,
hey, man. I got it right now, man. I'm good now, but I'm down. I'm down 900 points. So, but it's all good.
It's a new week. It's a new week now.
Yeah. Today is Monday. I think. Did I say it?
Well, there's no games on Mondays in WNBA.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. And also, too, remember, you can also, if you have somebody who's out, you can put them in the IR spot and pick up another person without dropping anybody.
Okay.
So, so take advantage of that, too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right.
We
appreciate
shout out to Ryan D'Souza.
Yeah.
Ryan, we was in the middle. We was I would just circle back again. We was just recapping the game 6 of the Pacers and the Knicks, and the Pacers relates to the Pacers. They're in the finals against Oklahoma. Your thoughts on that series and that game 6 and how go ahead.
It was the game, what was it? It was I want to say it was a 4-point lead at half. OG had just hit a buzzer beater shot, 4-point game, striking distance, but an unlikely hero flipped the game, and that was Thomas Bryant. He flipped the game.
Kobe
Right. He looked like Kobe Bryant out there hitting threes, looking like Olajuwon blocking shots, and that was a big turning point in the game. I want to say you guys they were up by 5 or something like that, but he got a block, and then they ran out, and Siakam got an and one, and that kind of pushed it, and then he hit another corner 3, and he like I said, he literally flipped the flipped the game for them, man. But it was a good series. I would like to have seen the Knicks try to control the pace more. And I get it, man. It's hard to kind of, and when I say control the pace, I mean on offense. Like, don't run the clock. Lessen the possessions for Indiana, because even when you score, they're just going to take out the basket and run on you anyway. So
what did you think about the Pacers and they press? They're pressing. I mean, from start to finish. Like, I it's been a while since I've seen a team do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm slipping. Maybe you might know better.
No, that was impressive. That was impressive. Nemhart was excellent in game 6. He was the one pressing. He was and there were you gotta give Rick Carlisle his love, man. He's a champion. He's a championship coach, and what he was doing, he would throw different bodies at him. So for most of the series, it was Nemhart was Neesmith was guarding him most of the time. But that game 6, but game 6 they showed him a different look. They pressed him, and that's what
from the beginning,
from the jump, all the way through the whole game, and. So basically that just gave them a different look that they didn't see they would do a light press, but then they'll back off. You know what I'm saying? But it was constant pressure on Brunson. And Brunson had, was turning the ball over. Brunson was playing, relatively playing fast. So
who you blame?
I mean,
you blame Thibs on this one for the not having preparation and not trying to, not.
It's not. I mean,
there's blame to go around. I'm just.
Yeah, there's blame to go around. Like I know Cat is getting most of the blame, but he was the only player in the series who had a plus minus. He was the only one that was in the positive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we all know what Cat was when the Knicks traded for him. He's just not great defensively. But it's got to be on Thibs to me and Brunson, because Thibs is the coach. Brunson is the point guard, an extension of the coach. Brunson has to know. Look, I can't get sped up. You can't dribble the ball 15 seconds into the shot clock. It's good at the end of the games, right? When when he's Mr. Clutch, and and rightfully so. That's all well and good at the end of the games, but he was playing too fast. He was playing to beat the trap. Then they would send a double at him, and then
he run into people.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And again, I don't want to knock him out because he's been great. He's been great all series, all season. He's been fantastic. It's just there's too much for him is on his plate. You know what I'm saying? I wish he would facilitate the ball more. But
yeah. I mean, the criticism right now is not hate. I'm not saying that we're not saying that Brunson is a bad. We just pointed out what happened. You understand what I'm saying? What happened to him during this point? So Brunson is Brunson. Brunson's still nice. I don't care what. He's
in
this series,
amazing.
man. This series was tough, and it was he, like you just said. I mean, he got thrown a lot of different looks this time around, and it was
and you can tell that Rick Carlisle was saving that he was saving it for the right time. He didn't show any of that in game 5.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't show that hand with that press with Nembhard the whole game, and that was something he was saving, and that's good coaching. So again, this was a series about pace. When the games were in the lower hundreds, Knicks won. And when it's in the 120s and 130s, you're not gonna win that game. Unless it's close, and then you can have Brunson close it. And also too, what was it? Was it game 3? Cat went off in the fourth quarter. Yeah.
Yes.
So Cat saved them from going down to 3-0. If it wasn't for Cat's heroics in game 3, it could have been it could have been a sweep. So
let me ask you this, Ryan. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think the Knicks lost the series in game 1?
No. They lost the series in game 2.
I like that.
How so?
See, everybody thinks everybody thinks it was game 1, right? Okay, game 1, you blew the game, right? So people want to tend to say, hey, they controlled the game and they blew the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they should have won that game. But then now you're at home. You lost game 1. If you win game 2, the pressure still is now. You still put the pressure now on. You even though it's split. Now Indiana has some pressure on, right? So where they have to get at least one game in Indiana to to make it, a 2-2 series. And the Knicks had to get one game in Indiana to make it 2-2 series if they would have won game 2. They compounded losing game 1 with losing game 2. Now, even if Indiana, they're going back home, all we got to do is just get one. If they get one, they're up 3-1, right?
Up 3, right.
You're still up 3-1. So I'm not going to say game 1. Game 2 is when they blew it. Game 2 is when they blew the series. All right, in my opinion, like I said, we can say that
good.
because
that's a good point.
Yeah, so I think it was game 2, and even then, the Knicks are down 1-3, right? But like I told you guys before, it wasn't the same being down 1-3 like how Minnesota was down 1-3, because the Knicks had the 2 out of the 3 games left at home. So if they could, they got the game 5 win. And if they could win in game 6, they would have, game 7 in New York. But it was just a game about pace. But to answer your question, man, I think obviously they blew the game. They should have won game 1. I get it. But then you can't come back and compound and then lose the second game at home. Because if you win game 2, they won game 3. So now they're up. They would be up 2-1. Right. And now, you know what I'm saying? And now even if you lose game 4, it's tied 2-2, and you're going back home. And you're going back home for game 5. So they compounded losing game 1 by losing game 2, and that's when basically the series was over, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I kept telling you guys, hey, you know what I'm saying, it's still a series, which it was. I mean, the Knicks was right there in game 5, in game 6 in Indiana. But like I said, in these championships, these series, man, it's always somebody you never see coming that does something that flips the game. Whether it's in 1994 getting the Knicks and the Rockets when it was Carl Herrera. You know what I'm saying? Playing, I mean, just unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, holy crap. Like, the Rockets fans didn't even know where that came from. It's just, Shaq always says the others, right? It's guys doing things that you don't game plan for. Right. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not only that, Thomas Bryant had got benched. The only reason why he played is because the other big had got hurt. So he just threw him out there, and then he
goes out there and scores. Hit them critical threes. Hit some threes.
Right.
I mean, it's like, come on, dog.
Right, but to the Knicks point, he's the one I want shooting the ball. You know what I'm saying? He just hit him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. He made him.
And for a big, Thomas Bryant can shoot the ball for a big. So, I'm not discrediting his shooting, but out of anybody on the Pacers team, if he's out there, you don't mind him shooting that shot. And, like I said, man, it's just the perfect storm for Indiana to, and every time the Knicks made a push, man, to cut it to 6, or, it would always be a sloppy turnover. It would be a sloppy turnover. And it's not those dead ball turnovers, right? It's those live turnovers that leads to easy baskets, and it just kills your momentum. So the
Knicks have been playing from behind the whole series, so they was already sped up, just like you said.
Correct.
Indiana sped them up with their pace, and the Knicks they was always trying to catch up. And when you're doing that, you're gonna find yourself. Turnovers is gonna happen when you're playing like that. When you're not built like that, you know what I'm saying? So
right, especially when you're playing fast. Right. And not only that's a good point that they're always playing from behind. Even in the Boston series, they're always playing from behind. It was just so they've had those miraculous comebacks, but you can't sustain
that.
You
man.
can't.
That's
Yeah, you can't sustain it. Right. Like. Yeah, I think game 5 was the only game in the series where they had a good start and they
controlled it.
But you can tell once they did that, right? Once they were controlling the game, you can tell that Indiana, that Rick Carlisle is like, okay, we're not going to show our hand now.
Yeah,
We'll wait to game 6.
He took this foot off the gas. You
Took
could tell,
his foot off the gas. Yeah.
He took his
So
foot
we're
off
not.
the gas.
So we're not.
And
Yeah.
just like, let them have this one.
Yeah, he always had something in his back pocket that the Knicks didn't see and Brunson didn't see. Yeah. And and that's just great coaching, man. And I'm not saying Thibs did a bad job, because he didn't. Thibs did a good job. He started, he started playing his bench a little later, but hey, it worked. It got him a win in game 3, because it was a bench that brought them back too in game 3. Because remember, Indiana jumped out to a 20-point lead in game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Hallie had the dunk and there was a 20-point lead. I'm like, damn, he about to go down 3-0. Then he put the bench in. He put him Shamit, McBride, and the other guard. The defensive guard. And they came in and they cut the lead, and then it went from 20. It went from like 20 to like 12 at the half.
Dylan Wright. I'm sorry. I can't
right. Yeah. And then they came in, and then the game was close. And then Cat had that godly fourth quarter, you know what I'm saying? And won the game for him. And so then we had the series. But to answer your question, man, it was game 2. They blew game 1, I get. But you got to win game 2. You can't fall behind 0-2 on your home court. So,
yeah. Ryan, let me ask you a question real quick. Moving on from the Knicks, and Knicks is, it is what it is. They go down.
Ryan's out there.
What happened?
Ryan's out there when it comes to the
Knicks. I got to talk you guys off the ledge, man.
So they out. They're out. There's got to be some changes. Earlier today we talked about the
slight changes.
I mean, but it has changes nonetheless, right?
Right. So you want some continuity too, man.
You're gonna have to, because you got to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, it's not like you know what I'm saying. So it's steps, right? And with the
first time together,
right. With that being said, there's a story that just came out. Just happened to see that the Knicks are in trade talks or proposal. Let me just say that proposal.
Yeah.
With Cat and Sabonis. Would you make that deal?
Wait, hold on. Hell no.
Yeah.
No.
Cat Sabonis. No. Let me get you the actual. This is I don't know how true.
I'm not trading Cat. I'm not trading Cat unless, because Sabonis doesn't play defense.
He don't play defense.
He's slow-footed too, and not only that, now if you trade Cat out for Sabonis, now you're gonna clog the paint. What is Brunson good at? Brunson's good at getting to the paint, and while he's getting to the paint, and he's damn near a post guy at the point guard position. Mm-hmm. And that's how he gets to the free throw line. He's crafty down in the paint.
Body Brunson for no reason. There's a reason why. Yeah.
If you swap out Cat for Sabonis, you're only going to clog the middle. Now you're not going to have no outside shooting. So you know what I'm saying? At the big spot, you'll have a better post player, I get. But I'd rather have Cat's skill set with Brunson than Sabonis' skill set. You know what I'm saying? With Brunson. Because now I wouldn't do it. The only way I'm moving Cat is if I'm getting Giannis. Mm-hmm. And obviously you're gonna have to give up more, to get Giannis, than you would have to give up more to get Sabonis. But I'm willing to do that. Like if I can move, say you have to move a combination of and I would try to keep Cat, but I believe that if Cat and the only way this is gonna work, right? If Giannis says, hey, I want to go to the Knicks. Trade me to the Knicks. And if they grant him that wish, because they really don't, because he has 2 years on his contract. But if they want to play good soldier and do
right by him,
and do right by him because he did right by y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, but now Right, but now you're gonna have to get a third team involved, right? Because now we're gonna talk about the Bridges. You guys have no picks, so
And a lot of
if
people
if,
are
if
upset about that. With that, we talked about
right, because
this.
there was no reason to give up 5 first-round picks and not only that, not and 2 second-round picks. It was really like 7 picks in the deal. It
Now
was
this is
it
now
was
Brian. Hold on.
yeah.
Now, just to make the point, this is where Knicks fans get upset about is because the knee jerk reaction is that, or making these moves that you didn't have to make, or you could have found somewhere you could have did something else.
No, I don't mind you. I don't mind them trading for Bridges. I thought that was great.
That's
But
fine, but how much
but don't give up.
But
But don't give up 5 first-round picks.
overcompensation
And
that
then
point.
yeah,
that part? That's what we're talking about. It's not about the
right.
trade. It's the what you
Yeah.
gave up in the trade in the midst of it. Five first rounders from Mikal Bridges. You looking at it now, even looking at it then, I don't even
That's
think
the KD trade.
right. Correct.
Yeah, those go for like all-star, superstar talent. You know what I'm saying?
Superstar.
Exactly.
And,
Right.
and then and I mean I get it. You guys, I think you guys traded bogey for him, Bogdanovich. Was in the deal. To make the money work because you guys had so much cap room, right? You guys had so much cap room. You could take his contract and just get off of bogey, and they wanted picks. But my thing is, okay, maybe have some protections on your picks, right? Okay, give them 2 unprotected to give them 4 unprotected picks, and then a pick swap and then 2 first-round and 2 second-round. It's a little bit much for a guy who's going to be either your 3rd or 4th option. You know what I'm saying? You're trading all those picks for a guy who's going to be either your 1st option or your 2nd option. You don't make, you know what I'm saying? Like, because now
we gave up a lot of shooting. We don't have no shooters now.
Right.
Just to let you know.
Yeah, and that being said, you gave up all those assets for a guy who's not going to have the same usage. So now you're looking at him as and that's the beef, because I'm not saying he's not worth 5 first-round picks if he was going to be the number 1 or number 2 option. He's not worth those picks if he's going to be your 3rd option, because he's not going to get the usage. And not only that, he's supposed to be a great 3-and-D guy. But when you have, I understand the logic. Okay, we have Karl Anthony Towns and Brunson who are not great defensively. And I know I've said this many occasions on the show. Even if you have these great wings and OG and Hart and Bridges and those are wings. So they're on the wings literally. So they're not stopping penetration at the point guard spot because Brunson's there, and then you're not getting block shots with Cat because Cat is there. Or if you put him in a screen and roll, Cat is in no man's land. He's either in drop zone, or if he's in drop zone, they're just hitting the 3. If he pushes up, they're blowing right by him, and it's just a blow by to the basket, and it just crumbles your defense. So that's why their defense struggles. So I didn't mind them getting Bridges, but like I said, I jokingly say it was as if they were bidding by themselves. Like, why are you giving up that much? Like, or just put some protections on it, man. Like. And then people say, "Oh, well, the Knicks are going to be good. Their draft picks are not going to be that good anyway." That's not how that's not the issue, because at any time there can be an injury to a star player on your team, and then you can have a bad season. Look at Philly. Philly just got the 3rd pick in the draft, and Philly was always had one of the best records with Embiid and Maxey. So no. So you can't come into the season thinking, "Oh, our pick is going to be good anyway." You still have to have your assets. Now, what do I always say, right? I always say this, and I preach this, and I'm like, the only thing fans can ask about their teams and their front office is to try to win. So at least you guys tried to win. So I respect that. But within trying to win, you had to be a little bit logical. Like if it was like there was no bidding war. Everybody knew that okay, you guys, he wanted to go there, the whole Villanova connection thing. Nobody was bidding against you guys. Like, why are you throwing I just didn't understand for that much. And the whole narrative was, because our picks are not going to be good anyway. That's not the issue. The issue is if you want to make another deal, or if you want to get off of said player, like a Bridges or an OG, for a better player like a Giannis. Now I have these players, but then we have the picks too. But now you only have the player, but if Milwaukee trades or is even talking about trading Giannis, they're gonna want a boatload of picks because if you trade OG and say Bridges for Giannis, what's Milwaukee gonna do with that? So OG and Bridges gonna be your best players with Dame sideline? Nah, they're gonna want to bottom out and get some picks. And not only that, they don't even control their picks. So I'm interested to see who has Milwaukee's picks, because that might be a team. And like I said, whatever. There's only like a few teams, right, that could straight up trade with Milwaukee to get Giannis, and that's probably Houston, that has a bunch of young talent and a boatload of picks. Believe it or not, OKC, who has a bunch of young talent and a boatload of picks. San Antonio, who now has a number 2 pick and number either 12 or 14th pick in this year's draft, in a loaded draft. So you can package that, the number 2 pick, number 14th pick, and with some young players who's not Castle, who's not Fox, and not Wemby, and get Giannis. So and then they're getting these picks back. So because remember, free agents don't want to go to Milwaukee, so you have to draft and get picks. That's how you get those guys. That's how you get a Giannis. Giannis was late first round, but he ended up being an all-time great. But nobody saw that coming. But yeah, so and I know that I think the Nets. The Nets have a boatload of picks because they got their picks back from Houston, and they got you guys' picks, right? But remember when you're trading first round picks, you can't do back to back picks, right? It's got to be like
scattered.
But you got to be scattered, or you can do swaps in between the scatter, right? So it's just.
It sucks when you just don't get it right, man.
Listen, I like I said, man. I appreciate what the front office did by getting Bridges, and I thought it was a good deal, but they just gave up too much. And like I said, and hey, this is their first year together with Cat. You know what I'm saying? Maybe now that Thibs saw the light and playing some bench guys, maybe he'll change a little bit and play some bench guys and you guys have some continuity. Because look, Indiana just last year went to the conference finals and they didn't break anything up.
Yeah,
and now they're in the finals. And now they're in the finals. So my thing is, if you don't get Giannis, you're gonna have to give up a boatload to get Giannis. It's gonna probably be a 3-14 team to make it work, or maybe you can get a KD on the cheap. You know what I'm saying? But again, you guys don't have the picks, so yeah, it's gonna be tough. So I'm thinking the Knicks. The Knicks are gonna just stay pat and just try to tinker with the bench, and now you'll have a healthy Mitchell Robinson now, right, to start the season. So you'll have you can bring your Josh Harts off the bench. So now you have McBride, Josh Hart, your Shamet. Hopefully he gives Precious more run. you guys got a good squad there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you just, need the continuity, to get better, to grow together. So look,
This
the
guy
Knicks
is
are in
so
a good. The
this
Knicks are in
guy's
a
so
good spot.
optimistic. I tell you, boy. I tell you,
I
man.
mean,
You
they're,
my
Yo,
I
best
mean,
but
defensive
he's
lawyer ever, my
honestly,
G.
they're in a good
telling
spot.
he's
Tell the
he's
truth.
telling the truth though, man. I mean, it's
He's
again,
in a good spot.
it's the philosophies. You bring
Okay.
Cat in
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
again. I'm gonna say even if you would have kept uh what's his freaking name? Randle.
Randle.
To me, they're the same kind of player. That's just my opinion. They're the same kind of player.
Mhm.
They can shoot threes. They'll go inside every so often. Not great on defense. Okay, cool. And you gave up DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
DiVincenzo.
When guys come back, if Thibs, like you said, Ryan, if Thibs,
Mhm.
if Thibs would trust this team going forward, open up and play these guys during the season. So you might
Yeah.
have, when you get back into the postseason, you might have one of these guys that have the what's the
Out of
word I'm
body
looking for?
experience, man. It just goes
Yeah, you might
nuts.
have a
Yeah.
Thomas Bryant. You might have a Thomas Bryant. You know what I'm saying? You might have
Yeah.
guys that you could bring in, like, you know what, we're gonna try him and let's see what he can do. You know what I'm saying? But
Because now you
not
trust them. Now you have some
right,
trust.
right.
The thing
And
is,
they also
Tibbs
will
don't
have some,
trust them.
and they also will have some confidence to go out there and do what you expect them to do.
Correct,
Yeah.
because Tibbs don't trust them. But the reason why Tibbs don't trust them because Tibbs don't play them, and maybe Tibbs like we all know Tibbs loves his tight rotation. But to piggyback on what you said about the trade with Minnesota, right, with getting Cat to New York, Randle and Dante to Minnesota, I think their belief in that. And I don't mind the trade was great because Cat was awesome was this year. He made an all NBA team. Cat was awesome, right?
Yes.
I think the reason why they put Dante in that package to make it happen was because I think the Knicks front office and Tibbs thought that McBride was going to take a bigger step. I know we talked about that in the chat that McBride would take a bigger step. Like I was kind of disappointed in McBride. I thought McBride was going to, be in the running for $6 million a year. But again, his minutes kind of got jerky too. You know what I'm saying? Like Tibbs kind of like was fluctuating with his minutes. Like how are you fluctuating with his minutes? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not sure if he got hurt during the regular season. I'm not. I don't remember. But to me, it's especially with Mitchell Robinson not healthy to start the season, and you were starting Josh Hart, right? Like your only bench guy that you really coming into the season that you thought was gonna have a big role was McBride. Like how, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it was a combination of his minutes fluctuating or him just not taking that step, right? Taking that necessary step to, to produce because he has talent. Like, when, he can play off the ball, he can play some point. He plays, good defense. Like I thought his impact would have been bigger this season and it just wasn't. So now that even makes the losing Dante makes it even harder to lose Dante when McBride, when Deuce Deuce didn't kind of bring that, now I'm not saying the shooting because at the end of the season in the playoffs, I mean, Dante was just shooting the lights out, but McBride can go on a heater. He can play, he plays way better defense than Dante, and can handle, and he's a more of a combo guard than Dante, because Dante's just trying to score. You know what I'm saying? McBride can handle a little bit and set people up and, go to the midi and, but yeah, I think that's all that also hurt you guys' bench was McBride not taking that necessary step this year, in my opinion.
It's definitely was something else. I was going to say, well, and you're saying continuity, and that's what I was trying to say in the beginning too. Yeah, you keep it light. I believe Leon Rose and
Tinker,
they're gonna just tinker and just because they did. I mean, we did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first 25 years, man. You see,
dude,
crazy.
You're 2 games.
Yes.
Right. You're 2 games away from the finals. They don't need to blow this team up unless you're getting Giannis. And then if for some reason you can keep obviously gonna keep Brunson, you know what I'm saying? But if some way you can keep, you gotta get rid of two of the 4, any combination of Cat, OG, Bridges, and Hart. If you can keep 2 out of those 4 and still have Brunson with Giannis, I think you do it at that point, because now you got that window. And remember, Giannis is only 30, so he's just hitting his prime. You know what I'm saying? And
point.
And he's a god. He's gonna play defense. He's gonna protect the basket. He's gonna be a one-man he can't shoot. He can't shoot like Cat. But if you can keep Cat somehow with a Giannis and a Brunson, now you got something there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, you don't play a bench anyway, so it doesn't matter. Just have those 3 and some and whoever, So I don't know, but
we're praying that he changes that, because, like you said, in Game 5, the Pacers showed their hand. So, and he was out of desperation, Thibs, right? So he started,
desperation.
I got to play everybody. I got to find something, and he did. I say, well, look at that. Why can't we do that during the regular season? Just a little.
And he probably did that, Kevin, because he knew if he didn't do it, he was gonna get killed.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I'm about to lose. Let me just throw him out here, so they don't say that I didn't try to play people. You know what I'm saying? So that could be it too. But I don't know, man. Like,
well, why did we have to get to this point? You know what I'm saying? Why, dude? Why?
Yeah.
But anyway, shout outs to the
whole big squad. They did great. And for the life of me, I don't know why Precious didn't get any minutes, man.
Well, he won't get no minutes because he's a free agent. So the Knicks they're gonna have to figure something out. So Cameron Payne, Landry Shamet, free agent, PJ Tucker. Well, he didn't get no burn anyway. Dylan Wright, he's all free agents. There's Ariel Hookporty, he's a free agent.
So
they're gonna Knicks are gonna have to Leon Rose, you on the clock, dog. You gotta figure something out.
And the good thing, teams, other free agents out there, might take less money to come and want to play for a team that was 2 games away from the finals. You know what I'm saying? You guys have a good culture. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys.
Jalen Williams is a free agent for the OKC.
You mean the big Jalen one, the tall one?
The one that spells it Jaylin. I know they got 2 Williams and they spell it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think that's the one that comes off the bench. Yeah.
Then we know we want this one. The JAL. Oh, he ain't.
Nah, you're not getting that, dude.
He ain't going nowhere.
No, he ain't getting that, dude.
He's a free agent at 26. So I just to put it out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Lou Dort is a free agent in 2026.
Yeah, but like I said, man, you guys are in a good spot. Either you tinker with the lineup, man, and you bring it back. You know what I'm saying? You bring it back and get some continuity, and then try again, man. It was obviously it hurts. You want to go to the finals and win it, but man, it was a great season for the Knicks.
Oh no, they wasn't going to win it this year, so I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, it's a great season, man. It was a great season for them, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't wait.
They brought back a buzz to the city that hasn't been in a very long time.
No doubt.
They brought back a buzz to the NBA because, believe it or not, even though we haven't won in 52, 53 years, they are still one of the needles for the NBA. So anything that goes good for the Knicks goes good for the NBA. So
the biggest
not
market.
A small market. And like you said, we're not a Cleveland. We're not one of these chains where nobody wants to come. So pause, but people want to come to play in New York. So
and
we should
and not only that, the Knicks fans travel. No matter what arena you're in, it's always if the Knicks are playing in a road arena, it's damn near 50-50. In every arena, it's damn near 50-50.
75.
So
Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm for real. So yeah, man. So
no, that's like you mean 95.
Yeah, you're right. The times
there's so many Knicks fans down here. Yo, you go. I'm telling you, man. I went to the game. It's so many Knicks fans down here in the Charlotte area. Is ridiculous, man. The whole, I mean, the whole arena is packed out with Knicks fans. But yeah,
well, that's the only
man.
see good, to be honest.
yeah.
So and not for nothing, man. You guys had a lot of injuries to start the season. Throughout the season, you got so some continuity, some luck with the health. You guys be right back again. I'm like, and not only that, look at the East. The East don't really scare nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have Indiana that you competed with.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland. Okay.
With Cleveland.
Yeah. Cleveland always has these meltdowns every year. Tatum is out for the season. With the Achilles. So Boston's gonna make some moves. Drew, I'm hearing Drew Holiday and Porzingis is more likely, and Al Horford are more likely gone, right? Because they can't afford. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they're more than likely gone. You got the young Detroit team, you got the young Orlando team. The Knicks will be right here again, probably battling with Indiana again. So don't do nothing crazy. The only time you do something crazy is if it's for Giannis. Then I understand doing something crazy, but don't do nothing crazy for like what you said, the Sabonis thing. No.
Oh, I didn't say. I mean, I'm just reporting, man.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. I got you. I'm messing with you.
No. I'm not.
I just report the news.
Yeah. I'd rather have the continuity with Cat than to trade him out for Sabonis, and then their game's got to mesh, and now you're behind the 8 ball again. No,
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
No,
wholeheartedly.
I mean, the whole thing with Sabonis in Sacramento is like he wouldn't take jump shots. He can't. He doesn't shoot the mid range. He won't even look to shoot a 3, and everything is clogged up. And no.
Sacramento obviously don't know what they're doing because you traded Halliburton for him, so you get what you get.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, and then you moved on, and then you traded Fox. So you lost Fox. Exactly. You traded Fox and Halliburton. Yeah, because Fox was like, man, what we doing? What are you doing over here? You know what I'm saying? Then Sacramento brought in they brought in I'm looking at their damn face.
Chicago.
Yeah, right. Yeah, brought basically two shooting guards in playing the same position. You know what I'm saying? One last year, and one and it at the trade deadline. So, but yeah,
crazy. We'll get a chance. The final start on Thursday, correct?
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. Yeah.
We're going to have to do a little shuffling around here. We're not going to be on Thursday because I'll be traveling and we don't have nobody to host the show to run the bus, as D-Dub said. So we're going to have to either move it to a Wednesday or Friday. But we'll let y'all know via social what we're going to do, man. It'll probably more than likely be Friday though. But now it gives us a chance to review Game 1 and Game 1s of both the finals and the Stanley Cup final also. So
true, yeah.
So we'll have a good time. We'll make it. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the finals? What is?
So if I'm betting with my money, I'm always gonna take a team who has the home court, who's had the best defense throughout the whole year, who basically beat a strong Western Conference by 14 games, who has the MVP on their team. But one thing that scares me for OKC with this in this finals is the finals championship experience. Rick Carlisle has it as a coach. Siakam has it as a player, and I really think, I really believe that they play sort of similar. When I say similar, one plays at a fast pace, wants to get up and down, and that's sort of their defense. Like their offense is their defense, and one team can play fast, but they'll lock up, and then they have a closer in Shea. But Indiana also has a closer who has the highest clutch percentage in the clutch in Halliburton, even more than Brunson. I think he's like at 90% or something like that. Something crazy, making clutch shots. So they're both deep. But man, there's something about this Pacer team, man. There's something about this Pacer team. They feel sort of like
They're playing with house money.
it might be their it just might be their year, man. And I'm not gonna. I think Rick Carlisle is just such a great coach, man. He's such a good coach, and I don't know. I think they have the edge in the coaching and with the championship experience. I'm gonna say I think it goes 7. I think it goes 7. I think it goes 7. I think it goes 7, man. And man, I got a feeling the Pacers are gonna win, bro.
Mike Mills.
I just have a feeling they're gonna. I have a feeling they're gonna win, man. I just have a feeling that they're gonna win. I don't know why. I just, but you know, I don't know.
Mike Mills says 5 for the
for OKC.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about 5. Because OKC can go in scoring droughts at times, you know, and the key too is Shea gonna get these, you know, get to the free throw line, you know, and so we'll see, man, we'll see, but it's gonna be a tough one, man. But everything on paper says OKC all the way, home court, better defense, the MVP. Right, they can play different styles. They can muck it up, and they're gonna foul the hell out of you. From the point guard, from the guards, from the guards to their bigs. You know, I do believe though, if Chet can win his battle, whoever wins the battle between Chet and Siakam at that power forward spot might tilt the series.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
And that's saying a lot for a third year guy, really second year, because he missed his whole first year. So that's putting a lot of pressure on Chet. Like if Chet plays Siakam to a standstill, OKC's gonna roll him. It's gonna roll them because you know that's why I said about the Knicks Pacers series. I'm like, if Brunson doesn't dominate his matchup, they're not going to win, because that's their ace is Brunson dominating the point guard matchup. I mean, Halliburton basically played him to a standstill, or probably even played better. So, you know. But that's the matchup I'm looking at. But I don't know. My mind's telling me, and my money's telling me OKC. But something about this Indiana Pacer team, man. And I can't disregard the championship finals experience with Siakam and Coach Carlisle, because I thought that was just a brilliant move, saving what he did for Game 6 and just putting Nembhard on Brunson full court. I mean, because you don't see that in the NBA. You don't see teams press. Why? Yeah. Because these players are so skilled that you try to press a team, they're gonna break that press and get an easy basket. Like, I thought Brunson did a bad job getting the ball out of his hands quick and then starting like a break or something. He just wants to pound the ball. Like, I understand controlling the pace, but getting to the shot clock earlier and then getting to your offense.
The offense,
but
yeah.
Yeah, but
I think that's a
yeah.
learning curve for him. It's not a curve, just a learning
Learning
It was just
experience
it
for
was
him.
him and coach.
it was
Definitely.
yeah, it was just the perfect wrinkle that he you could tell, man, he was just waiting for that. He saved it, man. He
Yeah.
saved it. He's like, I'm not gonna do it I'm not gonna do it in game 5 because more than likely the Knicks are gonna beat us in game 5. That's what he's thinking. He's like, I'll give the team that first quarter to see how we're doing. And then if the game's close, maybe they're not gonna implement it. But no, once he saw that the Knicks were rolling in game 5, he's like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
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 I
But
think it's gonna be a tough series though.
I do too, man. I really do too, man.
And I think the closest team to match up against OKC is Indiana. That's why I say I'd rather see Indiana in this than the Knicks, because I think the Knicks is getting
Not as
swept.
not as a fan, just as a basketball breaking down the series. Not because obviously as a fan you'd want the Knicks because you're a Knicks fan. But
I
right,
mean, but you know,
as you
just
as an analyst, yeah,
objective,
yeah,
objectively
being
looking at
objective,
this game, yes,
yeah.
that's where I will. This is probably the better matchup, and you know, I think you say 7 games, and I said, yeah, probably.
I got to
I
go
can
in
see
7,
a
man.
7 game because there's something different about this this Indiana team. I totally agree
It's
with
just
you.
something. It's
I
just
don't know if
something
they're
about
gonna
them,
win
man.
it because I think OKC is the better team. They've been the better team all year. They got the MVP. This guy is phenomenal. But I can see the way Carlisle has this team playing. I can see that, you know,
And
the
they're
Indiana
beating
team could get
they're beating everybody on the road, man.
yeah,
6-1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So
You know,
The
to the
amount
series
the amount
if
of
I'm
confidence that
picking,
Indiana is playing with
yeah,
is scary. And
yeah,
I think too, with Carlisle being the coach that he is, and having a star like Halliburton, superstar star, whatever you want to call him, having a guy like Halliburton on your team, who again, I'm gonna keep on bringing it up, is Mr. Overrated. I think the team has embraced that, and they're playing with that moving forward.
yeah,
nah, no doubt,
Like this
no
feels
doubt.
like
That's
a
bulletin
Cinderella
board.
team, right?
Mm-hmm.
This feels like a Cinderella team, even though they were just at the conference final with Boston last year. So it really should
Right.
not be a shock to people that they're in the finals, but that's what it
Yeah.
feels like
And
because
right.
OKC is just mega power over here that went through the West in the manner that they did. I think that too
Yeah.
is altering people's optics. But from a basketball standpoint, we really shouldn't be shocked with this matchup.
Yeah. And also too, right? If you notice the way OKC plays defense, how they trap, and I mean Ant-Man even said it's like an AAU defense. It's just flying all over the place, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Good point.
You have to have a player on your team that can see all that flying around on defense and just make the right play. And it has to be somebody who has some size, some height. Like okay, for instance, right in Minnesota, you had the point guard in Minnesota. He's a smaller point guard,
Conley.
right? Mike Conley's a smaller point guard, so he's getting trapped. Halliburton is a bigger point guard, right? Why do you think, even with all those injuries, right, Denver took him to a game 7? Because Jokic is the hub, passing the ball. He can see all that wild stuff you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's just Denver just kind of ran out of bodies at the end. You know what I mean? But right, and Siakam can kind of pass it out. And you know,
That's a good point.
and that's where I thought Randle was going to flourish, you know, against OKC, but he looked like he got rattled a little bit. So with making passes. So if Hallie can, you know, can make the right pass, make the right decisions, and get everybody going, and because for as good as OKC's defense is, Indiana's offense can use their defense against them, being so all up in you. You know, might be a lot of back doors, you know, back picks and constant moving and player movement, and so to your point, D-Dubs, this is an interesting matchup, man. Like I said, they play similar but different. That makes sense. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So,
Well, if I'm gonna go
yeah.
with if what you said, if I'm gonna go with my money, I'm picking OKC in 7.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. But there's something, man. Like,
That's my pick.
if
OKC in 7.
I think Siakam is the difference. If Indiana wins, Siakam has to win his matchup and has
Yes.
to play great.
Yeah.
I think he's the key. I think he's the key. And I think OB's gonna get a lot of run because one thing about Turner, Turner can pick and pop. He doesn't rebound the ball at all, man. Like, and Hartenstein, Chet, they're all, they all attack the rebounds. Even their guards rebound the ball. You know what I'm saying? So rebounding is going to be huge too, for Indiana to get on the break. So we'll see, man. We'll see. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I do think it goes 7 though. For some reason, I think it goes 7.
Good point. I'll chime in and say this. I think OKC will win the 7 games. I think it's going 7. I don't know. Mike Mills, he doesn't like the Pacers for whatever reason. He says 5. He said,
and it wouldn't shock me neither, man. It wouldn't shock me, but yeah.
But I get what you're saying. With you and D-Dubs, y'all have done a tremendous job tonight. Yeah, something about the Pacers, man. They how they change stuff, how they even their offense, their defense leads with offense, and their offense leads with defense. It's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Even when a team scores, how they're throwing the ball up the field, kind of like in football, right? Getting crazy possessions. Like you said, Ron, you made a great point. When the games were in the 120s, guess who won? The Pacers. The games were in the high 90s and low hundreds. Knicks.
Yeah, it's like they force you to play their style.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're baiting you, right? They're baiting you. So yeah.
Yep, definitely.
And OKC's
definitely
defense is kind of sort of like that too. They cause you
right. That's what I'm saying.
They'll cause you to turn the ball over, and it's off to the races, man. So
off to the races, right?
Shout out to Mike Bristol. He's saying OKC and 5. Dort will be the X factor.
Oh, hold on, wait. Mike Mills said Dort will be the X factor.
Oh no, that's Mike Bristol.
No.
That's
yeah. I thought it was Mike Mills because Mike had rolled his eyes when I mentioned Dort the other day when I said, man, Dort is one of the reasons why OKC has gone to this level because now he's not a liability, man. He's hitting that corner 3 and he's hitting wide open 3s, and now you can have your best perimeter defender always on the floor. Where he's a liability in years past where they just couldn't play him at times because he couldn't hit a shot and they were playing 4-on-5. So on offense, so yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Listen.
And I agree with the other Mike that Dort is definitely an X factor, man. Definitely an X factor.
So shout out to everybody that I know we went long on the NBA, man. We even went long on the Monday night, man, but it was well doubted for. I guess it was therapy for us Knicks fans.
You're in a good spot, man.
The NBA, the Knicks are in a good spot. The NBA has, hold on, let me get the NBA some applause, man. No, I didn't even do that right. I don't know why it's not working, but shout out to the NBA. They did a great job this week, making sure that not this week, but the whole playoffs, and making sure that the players have been good. The playoffs absolutely have been really good, man. So shout out to the NBA for that. D-Dubs, I'll do some part shots real quick. I know it's Monday. We'll do it. D-Dubs, what you got for us?
No, not much, man. Everybody have a great weekend. Great week, I should say, and leading up to both the NHL and NBA finals.
Yep. Ryan, what you got for us?
Yeah, man. NBA final starts on Thursday, and I think it's really good for the NBA because now you can have two franchises who's gonna have their first championship. You're gonna have a champion that doesn't have a quote unquote big 2 or big 3. It's more of a team game Two smaller markets, which is good. You know, like I said, man, I know I had mentioned the last 29 years in the Western Conference Finals, there's always been a team from either Texas or California in the Western Conference Finals, and that wasn't the case this year. So that's good for the league because now everybody has hope. You know what I'm saying? And you know, everybody starting next season can feel like their team has a shot. And now we don't know, you know, normally in the NBA we can. Damn, I know this is a partner shot. I'm here going all off club, but normally, man, you go into a season and you already know who's going to be in the finals. You know who's going to be in the conference finals. Now it's just wide open, man, which is great.
Wide open, yeah.
Parity is everything.
Yeah.
Yep. E, what you got for us?
Yo, man, I'm just keeping it short and sweet, man. Thanks for everybody joining us tonight. Yo, man, everybody have a good week. Enjoy your NHL, your NBA, your WNBA, your MLB, and you know, shout out to what's my man name? Scheffler winning again. He looked like he's in a groove right now in golf. Yeah, so man, everybody enjoy your sports, whatever your sport is, man. Enjoy, and
because it's about to be over.
Or Friday, or whatever. We'll get to y'all whenever we get back on.
It'll be probably Friday, more like he does. What you said?
I said because when it's over, man. Because this is it. This is until football come back around, and you know, baseball. You know, they try their best to carry us through the summer, man. But you know, they got some stuff they got to take care of. They could do better. I
agree.
But that's a story for another time.
Listen, I'm not going to belabor the point. Great show as always, man. Thank you for all those that tuned in, man. I know we was heavy on the Knicks. You know, like I said earlier, Ryan is our therapist when it comes to the Knicks. Knicks had a really good season. We had to think about that. Shout out to all the Knicks fans, man. But shout out to all those that commented on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, whatever you was on, what platform you're on. Thank you for supporting us. We do not take that for granted. Those that are listening to the sound of our voice on the podcasting side, thank you for having us in your car or whatever you're doing during the day. If you want good sports content, this is where you want to come, man. We covered it all. We talk it all. We even talk about the WNBA, but we'll get to that Friday, man. But listen, I'm going to get out of here on behalf of myself and Kevin O'Warren, for the rest of the crew. And for those that are not here tonight, for Mike Mills, the DA, and Dan, the hockey duo. This is the Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good, be great. Have a great week. Hey, we'll catch you on Friday. Peace.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Sports Chasers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms, and connect with us on all social media channels for exclusive content and updates. We'd also love for you to join the conversation, share your thoughts, and become part of the Sports Chasers community. And remember to tune in next time for some more real sports talk. Until then, stay frosty.